Hey guys, welcome to Screen Junkies Universe. We got a lot to talk about today. HBO Max. Remember when they were super excited and surprising that they had Harry Potter at launch? It's leaving. It's already gone. It'll be gone in August. That makes no sense. We're going to talk about it. Where's it going? I don't know. We're going to figure it out. Plus, there's a new Bill and Ted trailer to react to. We're going to talk about that, and we're going to react to it. I used the R word. I'm so sorry, you guys. And plus, there's been some surprise casting in the surprise existence of the Vanilla Ice biopic. Very excited about that. All of it's in support of.
Can we tone the sarcasm down on that, by the way, for the Vanilla Ice biopic? We'll get there. Let's tone down.
I am very excited about a biopic about the artist behind Ninja Rap. Okay. Look, he's no Ya Kid K, but if someone from a Ninja Turtle soundtrack legacy is going to get a biopic, I guess it's going to be Ice. And ironically, Vanilla Ice in support of Black Lives Matter. Links to support are in the description. You guys, please make sure
he owes a lot of money to BLM.
You know, Vanilla Ice did one of those blacked out Instagram posts. You guys know he did. I am joined by Spencer.
I saw him literally selling. We'll put the clip in the description below. It's Vanilla Ice selling refrigerators, like playing off of the ice thing.
That's perfect. That's a perfect.
It's synergy, right?
Yeah, he will sell anything. Aside from his, obviously, we know him as Vanilla Ice, the rapper. He's also Vanilla Ice, the motocross athlete, and I feel like we always take that for granted.
And the home renovation show haver. The guy's a hustler. He's rising and grinding. Good for you, Vanilla.
You gotta do what you gotta do. And we're also joined by Danielle Radford. Danielle, is it weird that I sometimes confuse Vanilla Ice with Tommy the Green Ranger? I can picture Vanilla Ice with Jesus Doesn't Tap gloves, and I don't know.
Lately, no, and so now I want them both to play each other in separate biopics. I want Vanilla Ice as the Green Ranger, Tommy, and I want Tommy as Vanilla Ice.
Well, before that magic happens, let's talk about this magic, you guys. HBO and a couple of other streaming services are losing some of their heavy hitters as well. This is via deadline. But the big focus is Harry Potter. The 8 installments of the Harry Potter series are all due to exit HBO at the end of August. And that's just 3 months after they very surprisingly showed up on the Warner Media streaming service to begin with on May 27th. So streaming rights had been carved out from a long-term deal with NBC Universal for the films, which have been in regular rotation on the company's cable networks. Universal, of course, Wizarding World of Harry Potter, the theme park side of things. HBO had also originally obtained a piece of the rights. So they had worked out like this weird little deal for a 3-month window to hang on to Harry Potter. That said, we're now seeing a lot of instances, you guys, of like streaming services being like, we got this thing, and now it's going. Like, HBO Max already got dinged over DC stuff earlier. Was the surprise of Harry Potter at launch more harm than good if it's just going to go away in 3 months? Is like your dad showed up for Christmas and now it's going to get magical cigarettes? Like what's that all about?
I think that every streaming announcement we have to respect under the laws of, you know how we normally have the laws of no take backsies? Apparently we are living in now a post take backsies universe where you can announce something and then it's not there anymore.
Take backsies are happening left and right. I agree. I don't think it's fair. Spencer, take backs, no take backs.
Oh, you can't do take backs, and you can't triple stamp, double stamp.
Can you do ups?
What's ups?
Like if
did I just get updogged?
No, ups was like if you were in a line and you wanted to be further up the line, you asked if you could have ups.
Oh, wow. That's some Kentucky slang. That didn't make it out here.
Y'all didn't have ups?
We had ups, but I lived in Indianapolis. You know this.
No, that's fair.
Sorry, there were back cuts. Back cuts were the bane of my existence.
Well, and that is what's happening now. We are now getting back cuts where people are saying, I have Harry Potter. And then another studio is coming in and be like, no, I call backsies. And they are coming in and now taking away your Harry Potter from you.
Look, I don't. It's hard for me to comment on because like my enthusiasm for Harry Potter is at an all-time low, and
I mean, same.
after these last couple movies, and then J.K. Rowling talking, she has literally plopped her wizard robe open and taken a dump on the franchise, as wizards do, as she let us know.
Remember when that was the worst thing she did? The worst thing was like, oh, now she's talking about how wizards poop
on the floor.
And that was the worst, and we were all horrified. And then it just kept.
But it's not a good important. Not just that you might lose something you know and love. It's just the overall lack of trust you have in the streaming service you're paying $15 a week to. That if you're like, oh, I'll put that in my queue, I'll get around to watching it. No, clock's ticking. That might disappear, which is really annoying. And HBO Max is not the cheapest one of these. So
yeah,
I know they just announced that they have 4 million paying subscribers, which is those are some numbers. But you got to retain them, and you got to keep the big stuff to keep people coming back.
Yeah. And two quick things. Sorry, Joe. Two quick things. One, so it makes good sense why all of these places are trying to get you in with these deals where it's like, for 6 months you can get it for $2 less a month or whatever. And I feel like a lot of us have been like, well, we're going to see what happens because we know what happens. I'm not going to buy a whole year of whatever service. I'm only going to get like a month at a time because it may be more expensive in the long term, but in the long run, I'm not trapped into something I don't like. So that's number one. And number two, I'm sorry, I just keep trying to push up my non-existent glasses, and this is going to be a thing.
You gotta find your glasses.
This week.
You'll find them. I promise.
I'm literally going to do this all show.
But I think you guys are absolutely right. People signed on because they were like, "Ooh, DC," and then obviously they didn't plug the Harry Potter. That was supposed to be like a pleasant surprise, but that was a cool thing to show up and see. If you're a big Potterhead, then that was a huge surprise. And I don't understand like the investment in then whisking it away. Like you got to imagine that stuff's just going to piss people off more than it's going to make them happy. It's so much easier to piss people off than make them happy.
It's so much easier to just never give them something in the first place than to give them something and take it away. There's something like way more psychologically damaging about like, I had that, now it's gone, rather than like, I never had our list to begin with.
And honestly, that's just customer service stuff. We have not all talked about Warner Brothers and other movies for a living. We've all had other jobs, right? I feel like when I was a retail sales associate at many different jobs, one of our big things was you set appropriate customer expectations. Don't promise things you can't give, because those are the customers who are more likely to complain. And what is it? There's like a ratio of, for every customer that's likely to tell their friends that you did a good job, was it like 9 are more likely to tell if you did a bad job? That's just basic. Look, man, Walmart knows this. EB Games definitely knew this. Many other of these smaller companies know this. And I do feel like sometimes with tech companies, that can be obviously at a smaller level. They hire people who are customer service that can talk to people as individuals. But I feel like at a larger level, sometimes they forget that weird psychological part of it where it is you are a customer-based business. Like literally, you don't survive if we're not subscribing. So subscriber diabetes. So if you're not paying attention to the things that can turn off or turn on a customer base, it can be death for a service. And I feel like, especially now, as we're starting to kind of sift through the wheat and the chaff of these different streaming services, because for a while it was all funsies. Everyone's in. We're all in the pool. We're going to see what works out. And now we're discovering like what is floating and what is sinking. And as we're learning that, I feel like one of the biggest points of it is who actually understands how to manage customers and how to manage customer expectations. Because a lot of these deals we all know could fall apart at any moment. Why couldn't you say, hey, you know what? For the first 2 months, we're going to have all the Harry Potter you could ever want. And you let us know if you like it. And if you're really enjoying it, then we'll see what we can do about extending it. And then you would at least get 2 months of people. You'd get that first free month, that second paid month. And then if you see the numbers, you can be like, hey, let's negotiate and see what we can do. I don't know. Like, I feel like that portion, that human element, is what is really missing from a lot of the streaming experience.
I think that's smart. Now, there's with that customer service kind of strategy, there is, the strategy, the theoretical strategy for streaming that keeping content cycling keeps people interested. Mm-hmm. And I think that's true for maybe smaller stuff, but you've got to give that stuff something to orbit.
Yes.
And so your big stuff that people show up for, I'm going to try to stop saying the word stuff, and I apologize.
Content.
You've got to keep your content. I'm going to replace stuff with thingamajigs.
There it is.
There are certain core thingamajigs that people are signing up for. They're signing up because they want to watch Dark Knight every other day. They're comfort stuff. There's comfort stuff. There's comfort thingamajigs.
Well, they're the Friends streaming service. That's the big anchor. And I'm curious how that's doing. Not that anyone ever releases their numbers, but how many people are watching Friends on HBO Max as compared to Netflix? Did they all shift over because they can't get enough Chandler?
I'd be curious to see that. Also, what do they count as a view for Friends? Is it just up until the first "could I be" joke?
That's fair. I guess for me, as looking at someone who my ideal, and if it were me and the way that I was doing it is that you do, as exactly as Joe says, you have a core of things that are like, we have all the Harry Potter, we have all of the offices for this long, we have whatever. And then knowing that is going to end, you don't let that end without spending, because all of these places have money. You don't let that end without being like, hey, what we're not going to do is suddenly decide that 2 months in, everyone's going to suddenly want all of our original programming. So what we're going to do is, we know that this thing is set to end here. What is the next thing we can use to fill this? And if we don't have at least 2 years of things that we can say, okay, we have this for this long and then it goes away and then we fill it with this next big thing. If we don't have 2 years from that, then maybe we don't start our streaming service, and maybe it's okay that we don't have one.
Yeah. Well, or at the very least, you're just open about the terms of it launching. Like because I agree with you. I think if you know that you have a finite amount of Harry Potter, like Spencer said, it's that weird damaging thing of suddenly taking it away. If you know that it's 3 months, that people aren't going to be weird. I honestly think people would appreciate it more if you're like, at the launch of HBO Max, 3 months of Harry Potter, guys, and you milk that little boy wizard for all he's worth, man.
Please clip that.
Nope.
Hire, just grab him by the quaffle and never look back. No, you get on social media and you hire every Russian bot you possibly can to be like, Harry Potter party. Everyone is having fun in this 3 months with the summer celebration, Harry Potter, Hufflepuff. And like you just get as much as you can out of that 3 months.
It's Harry Potter summer, baby.
Harry Potter summer, baby.
It's that's the problem. And then the other confusing thing for me to follow is like, I guess it's a brand thing, because like I know that I follow this stuff fairly closely, and I have like this vague notion that HBO and Warner Brothers are owned by the same company. Like AT&T is like the parent of both of them. Yep. So like, why can't I watch them together? And then why am I watching Friends, which is an NBC show, which is on Peacock? Like, look, I know that the studio and the network are different, and these deals are between like producers, and there's all these varying factors that let them jump from stream to stream. But it's just like for a customer, like a branding problem of like, I don't know where to find goddamn anything.
Doesn't pass the mom test.
Doesn't pass the mom test.
Yeah. My mom is a nerd. She loves things. She doesn't know what studio owns what thing and why this thing that's normally on CBS is suddenly on this thing that's normally for whatever. They don't know that. That is like literally, if it's not your job to know that, I don't know why you do. Like that is a very specific thing to know. And I feel like a lot of these companies are expecting us to kind of know that. And you're right, Spencer, most people don't know that. They don't know who owns what. They just know they want to watch Friends. And Friends used to be part of must-see TV. And why can't I get all of my must-see TV on the same thingy on a Thursday or any day?
Well, there's other volleyball rotations going on too, because like Peacock launched with Jurassic Park, and they were like, oh my god, look, it's going to Netflix already. So that's part of a Netflix deal. And like you just said, I don't know what's where, Danielle. I'm already getting confused, but like The Matrix was somewhere and now it's going elsewhere. It's all a weird mess.
Peacock is really sad. I don't know if you guys have logged onto that yet.
No, I haven't messed with it yet.
Yeah, it's really like it's like the party where everyone's like, I hear there's a better party. Like if you can't get into the club, they send you to there's like the tea room down the street. Like maybe you can hang out there. Like it is definitely a this place is dead vibe going on there. It just launched. You can tell how much they were putting stock into the Olympics, like launching with the Summer Olympics.
Right.
It is barren.
Hey.
Where was Frasier going to be again?
Frasier's there. But like when you're tent pole, like the whole thing is, it's a lot of weight for Frasier to carry.
You can't expect Niles to carry all that weight.
No. Oh, baby, I hear the blues are calling. Frasier's the only one on Peacock.
Sad jazz. At Joshua Drew says, HBO Max is becoming extremely underwhelming. And yeah, in addition to, I don't know how much stuff you guys have been kicking around on there, but we haven't been watching it for a lot of big tentpole stuff. We have been watching it for like I'll Be Gone in the Dark is wonderful. Mm-hmm. Perry Mason's great, actually. But here's the thing: I think if Perry Mason was an original Netflix show or something like that, it'd be the biggest thing, and everybody'd be talking about it. Like no one would be shutting up about Perry Mason. But it's not like a big enough IP to be a big breakthrough subscriber builder for HBO Max. It's sort of going back to the thingamajig orbit. Like I need Harry Potter and Batman, and then like Doom Patrol and I'll Be Gone in the Dark and Legendary and all these things like orbit, and you can swap that stuff in and out. It is a little underwhelming. Like the service itself seems weirdly slow. It freezes a lot.
The new redesign
I'm still using it. What are you saying, Danielle?
No, please. No, I'm just saying like the new redesign is weird, and I know that I've seen people who have commented like, I have had HBO Go or HBO, I've had the different or HBO Now, and for some reason it won't switch me over to HBO Max. And there are like a bunch of steps you might have to take, and it's easier if you signed up in the app, whereas it's harder if you signed up not in the app. I know that there have been a bunch of people who have had issues, and it might be smoother now, but definitely the first like 2 or 3 weeks, I was still seeing people with a lot of complaints.
Yeah, Pat Burns, who agrees with you, like the Now and the Max and the Go and the Stay.
So yeah, I'm still using HBO Go because that's the one that's on my TV, and like I don't want to go through the process of downloading a TV app and logging in with a remote control of like a 12-digit password and stuff like that. But I'm getting the countdown. They're like, this is going away. The world is ending at the end of July. Like you got to leave. I'm like, no, I'm sticking around to the bitter end.
Yeah, the whole thing's been weird, and I think as much as I make fun of walls of Blu-rays, hang on to your walls of Blu-rays, folks, because HBO is gonna slide in and be like, hey, we've got X, Y, and Z. They're going away, or they're gonna be like, oh, hey, part of HBO is you get Crunchyroll, and then you're gonna get really excited about that, and then by that they mean there's 4 shows from Crunchyroll out of like their 300 show library on there. Buy your Blu-rays, kids, and hang on to your VHS. Physical media, you guys? What do you think? Physical media? How many videotapes do you still own, Spencer?
I mean, I've got a stack of about 20 to 30 DVDs and Blu-rays of things that will never be streaming. And I've also ripped those to my computer in case I lose those. But I really do it selectively. It's like foreign films. It's like these really cool things you probably haven't heard of, like weird animated things, old skate videos and stuff like that. And it's like, there's no way that's going on Netflix. I better just buy this.
Yeah. So
I like that you just have a hard drive of Amelie and CKY videos.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. So I because I'm spoiled, I'm from Seattle. In Seattle, we have something called Scarecrow Video, which I haven't checked in lately. I hope they're still around. But they used to be one of the last video rental places where you could get not only obviously DVDs and Blu-rays and all that stuff, you could get like super rare. They were amazing. You would walk into essentially what looked like a house, and every different room was a different genre. And there would be walls of stuff, and a lot of it would be like the normal stuff that you could get, like DVDs and whatever. And then there would be stuff where it was like you had to put down a credit card and say like, hey, if I lose this, I will pay you $200 because it was so rare to find that VHS. And so there are a few havens of physical media around. I hope they're still around. I know there are a couple, and they had to turn nonprofit because they weren't making a profit. I know there are a couple of other nonprofits that are like that are doing it. But the more that this happens, the more that I'm in my full like Dan mode.
What you just described did sound like a weird Willy Wonka chocolate factory that's owned by Dan Murrell.
I keep telling him, man, if you go to Seattle, I'm telling you exactly where to go. Like don't go anywhere else.
Noir room.
No, I'm serious. And it is that specific. Scarecrow Video is kind of amazing, and it's a big part of my heart.
I mean, we had like, you guys ever go to Vidiots when it was around?
Yes, I loved the Vidiots.
Yeah, every major city has like one place fighting the good fight, and with a bunch of, it's like Dan Murrell's running it, and it's all Lon Harris is behind the counter.
And it's amazing. I think Vidiots might be
just 8 lawns going. Lawn,
like Ozymandias from Watchmen, just so he has his clone lawn. Just
love it. Over here in North Hollywood, there was Odyssey Video, which had this. They boasted this really amazing collection of horror movies and thrillers. But the only reason they didn't have to go to nonprofit is because they also had like the last remaining behind the curtain section in Los Angeles. And so they just, you could tell the guy behind the counter was just like, I just want to make sure that you guys see this this weird Halloween knockoff that got made in Turkestan. I just want to make sure you see that. And if I gotta have that, I gotta have that. It's fine.
Can you just like put your head in, just like poke your head in, not there, but just in the curtain, and just so I can say that like I'm making the money that I need them to. Yeah, and unfortunately that is how a lot of those places like do their work. With Scarecrow, I know a lot of it was they would have like live shows and live comedy and stuff to like kind of keep them going, and charity drives and stuff.
Oh, that's my version of I just read Playboy for the articles. Is I proudly walk into the adult section and I'm just like, I'm supporting this local business. So Adam Holbert asks a good question, and then we'll move on. But Adam asked if you could use only one streaming service right now with their current library and no other stuff added, what would it be?
Oh.
I mean, it's probably cheating, but if I could get Hulu with all the fixins, you get the live.
Whatever, I'll take it.
give me all the fixins. The live TV and the stuff they got in the library. That's the one I'd go with, just because like it's less reliant on originals, which I think is sometimes a good thing.
That's true. Yeah.
That was the one I was gonna say, but since Spenny said it, I would say that my next one would be. It'd be Netflix. They do still, I mean, obviously things kind of rotate in and out, but for the most part, if you have a show and you are about to start a series of or season of that show or a new thing of that show, and you want eyes on that show, like badly enough, you'll put it onto Netflix so that at least people can catch up on it and then see it later. Like it is, it's the granddaddy, it's the grandpa. But there's a reason why people still put their stuff on there, because it does get eyes on things that people want to get eyes on. And that winds up being a benefit. And also they are spending a lot of money on new stuff. It's really good. The old guard's really good, you guys.
Yeah, I think I'd have to go Netflix too, because there's enough really good originals. And then eventually if I get desperate enough, I will watch, some real D tier Korean dramas that even fans in Korea are like, oh, there's no way we'd ever watch that. They're all there. They're all there to find.
Are they D tier for you? Because I think that if you like them, it's not D tier.
Yeah,
that's fair. I
think it's just tier.
I do want to see what the Korean drama room looks like in Dan Murrell's movie factory.
It's a whole room. It's a whole room, Joe Starr.
And what lawn song goes along with it.
I don't even know enough about this to joke about it.
Well, there. Moving on. Let's talk about a trailer that asks you to do three things. Two things. Be excellent to each other, and also to like and subscribe. Thank you guys for doing so, and to watch Hey Fandom over at fandom.com. We got a full Bill and Ted Face the Music trailer today, you guys, and I don't know if it's the sweet nostalgia or seeing these two gentlemen reunited or the spotlight that Alex Winter has back or that the world ending has made me just very emotional. I cried.
Oh, that's not bad.
I just got very like, oh, this looks so fun and sweet. Like the daughter stuff looks super fun. They look like they're having a blast and putting their own band together. And I don't know, these guys look great, and this is the movie the world needs. Spencer?
Oh God, I love it. Yeah, the scope of this is what really impressed me versus the last trailer. This does not look like a low budget straight to video thing, although thank God it is coming straight to VOD. Sorry, I had a sneeze. But yeah, the fact that they're the daughters are doing a back in time travel to put a band together while Bill and Ted go into the future to steal from themselves, and they all end up in hell. Like, this is everything I want out of a Bill and Ted movie. It's perfection. Their chemistry, they picked right back up where they left off. I love it. I love everything about this. I can't wait.
You got two really great actresses like doing really good Bill and Ted impressions.
Yep.
Hello, dads. Killed me. Danielle, what do you think about the meta of a movie about some guys who finally need to fulfill their destiny to save the world, actually saving the world?
I think all of this is great. The women who play their wives in that the couples counseling scene that they showed knocked me out because it was really funny. And again, it is, and Bill and Ted has always been a series. It knows exactly what it is. So this isn't one of those things where it's like, oh, they suddenly turn meta because it's like of this age and now the girls are in charge. Like, the movies always know what it is. But most importantly, I want to talk about theremins. Because there is a very important theremin part in this where clearly Ted is playing a theremin, and Bill is doing whatever mouth sounds one does when someone is playing a theremin. I
believe that's throat singing, Peruvian throat singing.
I believe it is throat singing. I believe you're right. The theremin has such a long history in sci-fi. It is the sound that is used in Star Trek, the Star Trek theme, the original one. Theremins are all over your favorite sci-fi and other places. It's quarantine, man. Maybe I'm gonna learn. I have a friend who makes theremins. Maybe I'll just pay him to make me one, and I'll learn how to do the. For those who don't know, it's an instrument where there's a stick and a box, and the way that you play it is like you move your.
You do hand dancing around the stick.
Thank you. There is no way to do this. This is my fault. I mocked you earlier.
How do you play the theremin, Danielle?
So you move your hand up and around the stick.
The shaft, I believe it's called.
Kind of floating around the box, and one of them, and then you can handle pitch, and you can handle
intensity,
length.
Fervor. There are lots of different things that you can. It's a very hard instrument to play. There are parts of it that are both hard and soft. So if you can learn it, so the theremin is very interesting.
It's a pretty rigid, inflexible instrument because really it can only make one sound, which is
right. But the theremin is more about the motion of the ocean. It's about how you move your hands, because that is what makes a theremin make all of their different sounds. I did this to me. No one did this to me. I
want to say this.
I was so excited to talk about theremins. I put it in the group chat where I was like, we're going to talk about theremins. And
I want to say this in our we do a little Slack to sort of prep for the show. We prep for this show. Ryan preps for this show. Ryan preps his butt off for this show. And the rest of us assholes just roll in and show up. And Moulton preps for this show. Good on you, Moulton.
I'm sorry.
Brian did point out Dean Parisot directing of Galaxy Quest fame. So if you want to balance your heart and your comedy and your sci-fi, that's the guy you call.
But I do say that, Danielle in that group chat was like, we're definitely going to talk about theremins. And, you kind of go, yeah, we are. And then we move on. And no, girl came to talk about theremins.
I really like theremins, you guys. I guess that's another look. You guys, everyone who watches this show knows I like weird stuff. One of the weird things I really like is theremins. And I think there's not, look, I bought a guitar for quarantine. I didn't learn how to play it. I fostered a cat. He's gone now.
It's theremin time, baby.
So my new thing is theremin. It's a sci-fi instrument.
I think you need to build your own theremin like a Jedi,
I agree. Find your own kyber crystals.
Yeah.
Find my own box and shaft.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's really what everyone needs in quarantine. Just a box and a shaft to call their own. Hey, you guys. The ice thing. Oh, we lost her. We lost her.
She put herself in timeout.
Yeah.
Danielle, got a timeout. We still got to do a show. You do timeout after.
Fine.
I love you. I love you so much. Just also as a heads up, if we're ever allowed to be in the same room, any of us anymore, I have a sinking suspicion I'm going to be a face toucher now when I'm going to be a very like, hey, Spencer. I'm worried that's where I'm going. Just as a weird heads up. If I'm just if my hands are always like, Bob, you're my number one guy on your shoulders all the time while I'm pitching Honest Trailers jokes, I just fair warning. I miss people.
But yes, same.
You know who else misses people? Vanilla Ice? I don't know if that worked. There's going to be a Vanilla Ice biopic. Dave Franco will be playing Vanilla Ice.
Yes,
sweet boy.
Sweet boy, Dave Franco. They're hoping to go with something sort of in tone of The Disaster Artist, which like sweetly poked fun, at its subject, but was ultimately a celebration of. And he had this to say about also the biopic's called To the Extreme.
Mm-hmm. To the extreme, I could rock like a candle, light up the stage, I look and jump like a candle, dance.
He doesn't say candle twice, Danielle.
He might, I don't know. He's a hack.
He rhymes it with.
I know if you turn off the lights, he'll glow.
Yes. Yeah.
If you got a problem, he'll solve it. Check out the move while his DJ revolves it.
Yeah. DJ never got the roses that he deserved.
Give him his roses.
Also, props to Vanilla Ice for having the class to not throw DJ under the bus when they got sued for using that Queen beat.
Well, they were different, Joe. One goes dun 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 dun, and the other was dun 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 dun.
Only kids of a certain age will remember that.
Dun dun. Yeah, it's different.
This movie had better. Oh, so first, Franco had this to say about working with Ice. We've been in development for a while, but we're inching closer and closer to pre-production. Rob, that's insider talk for Vanilla Ice, is such a sweet and intelligent guy, and he's been super helpful in the process of getting all the details correct and making us privy to information that the public doesn't know, which kind of sounds like a celebrity involved in their own biopic talk for none of it was my fault, and please blame the following people. But they had better include the MTV News interview where he does that, where he's like, no, completely different beats. Dun 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 dun.
I'm also going to need more gathering of the Juggalos. I assume when he says what other people don't know, it's going to be all Suge Knight and all people named Vanilla Ice being dangled out of windows.
Yeah, I was going to say the whole thing needs to start with him being dangled out of a balcony window by Suge Knight and then freeze frame. I'll bet you're wondering how I got
here. Boom.
Yep. Get out of here. Word to your mother. Are there any other just, Vanilla Ice highlight points?
I mean, Cool as Ice is a touch point for me.
Drop that zero
ditch the
and
zero, get with the hero. Yeah.
He does that bro stuff.
I feel like he did some celebrity boxing. Guys, again, I'm so sorry.
He did.
Okay, that's why I keep putting a Jason David Frank in my head for Vanilla Ice.
I know more about Vanilla Ice than I think that most people reasonably should. I have told you guys I like bad things.
If you don't,
it's a bad thing that I like.
tell us some things we don't know about Vanilla Ice with the same enthusiasm you use to describe a theremin.
Are you kidding me? Okay. So Vanilla Ice did a for celebrity boxing. It was him and Paula Jones, which is sad. I actually don't like that. Versus Tanya Harding. Also, don't necessarily like that. And there was like just a bunch of different celebrity boxing matches. Oh, he flips houses. That has been a thing that he does. He really enjoyed his time when he was in, I believe he was in one of the Surreal houses before they got too corporate.
Oh yeah, the Surreal Life or whatever.
Surreal Life, back when they were more loose, where he actually did.
Wait, wasn't that a Disney show?
It was VH1.
No, that was the Sweet Life. Sorry.
Yeah, no, Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. He might have been on that. He will do anything for a paycheck. There was also, I believe, the White Rapper Show, which is a show where I think it was Surge. From a band no one but Spencer has heard of, so I won't even get into it. But there was a show called the
MC Search.
As
in the gas face.
As in the gas face. There was a show called the White Rapper Show, and there was a juggalette that was on there, and she was very inspired by Vanilla Ice. He was a huge inspiration to her. And again, he murders it at motocross. You can find him if juggalos are gathering. You can probably find Vanilla Ice. It's more than likely. He gathers when juggalos gather.
Isn't that White Rapper Show where we got Riff Raff?
Oh, I don't. Hold on.
No. He was on From G's to Gents. Sorry. I don't want to derail us.
That was the one with Farnsworth Bensley, right?
Yeah.
Well, guys, the bad news of all of this is that G's for Jets is leaving Peacock in August. Make sure you guys watch it.
Oh God, please go to BET Plus.
Thank you for joining us on this fine theremin-fueled day. We hope you find your inner theremin music today, and we'll see you tomorrow with either a review of the Umbrella Academy or maybe a world-changing New Mutant story. I don't know. Roll the dice. We'll find out. See you guys later.
Do a theremin version of the theme song.